All right, everybody, welcome back here to another episode of Load the Wagon. Today, a little special episode here. And of course, Madden 2021 franchise draft series. Guys, come on, draft the team. Then we simulate a year to see how it goes. Tonight's episode, we are joined by TJ Hernandez. TJ is the director of DFS over there at 4for4. Formerly a full-time poker player, bringing that background of poker statistics and analytics to daily and season-long fantasy football. And, of course, how can we forget about the DFS MVP podcast? TJ, thank you for coming on. How's it going?
Dude, what's up? Thanks for having me. I'm glad I got to put a face to Are we rivals or friends because of Scott Fishbowl?
That is interesting that you bring that up because we actually are in the same division. So I guess we're rivals, to be honest, now that we're talking about it. What draft selection do you have?
I'm picking 10th. What about you?
I'm 11.
Nice.
So we're
nice.
really rivals now.
Did you request division and pick number?
That's right. I did get my division and pick. You?
Nice. Yeah. I put out I tweeted out Lil Wayne division like right when Scott said it was music, and it got like no interaction. So I didn't know how many people were going to be requesting rap divisions. So I was stoked when I saw like right off the bat we were one of the divisions. I was like almost halfway for right away. And
shout out everyone.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Yeah. I think we got
Troy.
Yeah, Troy's up
Amr.
Amar's in there.
And congrats to Amr. He just came on over there to 4for4. Shout out to Amr.
Yep. And you'll have an article coming out soon.
LQ. 4for4. Shout out LQ. Shout out Dougie and everyone else that I'm forgetting. I am sorry, but here we are. So load the wagon. All right. So let's little tips to keep in mind here for the draft. Think more redraft than dynasty.
Okay.
Injuries are off. I can switch positions if you want. So if you get a corner, we can move them to strong safety. If you get like a center, we can put them to left guard.
Okay.
And then at the end of the draft, you can have one opportunity to perform a trade if you want to fill a hole. So if you want to punt a position, we'll try our best to fill it. All right. Are you ready to kick this off here?
Yeah, man. So we're going. This. We got to keep in mind for anybody watching. I haven't played Madden since I lived in the dorms in like 03. So yeah, man. So I haven't played in a minute. So is this like straight fantasy, or are we going every position?
That's
like
right.
Roster.
Every position. We got offensive line, defensive line, man. And so something about it. Let's see. We're in the first round. So how would you like build? Like again, it's a 1-year NFL, simulation here. How are you going to build? Maybe defense heavy, offense heavy. Here's BPA right here.
I mean, Madden, whether it's fantasy or Madden, you got to go quarterback, right?
That's always seems to be the suggestion, So shout out to D-Bro. He said, don't let him draft Tom Brady. So Tom Brady's a guy you could find in the 8th round, sometimes the 12th, if you're lucky, because they value age. They value this the development. Like Donald is an X factor, while I don't know. So let me see if I can find anyone who's not. Let's see. Is Byard? Is he a superstar? He's just a superstar. So there's like these things that kind of come into the thing. So a lot of people think quarterback.
Yeah.
But I think you're better off waiting a little bit. Shout out to D-Bro. He gets it.
Do these play out kind of like fantasy drafts where quarterbacks are going in the mid rounds?
Typically, yes, but it's also again your Baker Mayfield, your Herbert. These young guys will go, while maybe a Winston might be there in round 6, 7, just because he's like a normal dev. While you go over here to Herbert, he's a star. It's hidden, but I think he's just a star. So they value that. It's kind of like they value it like a dynasty startup, but this show is a redraft show.
Gotcha.
So think like that. So I feel confident you could punt the quarterback position for a little bit, especially if you want to hit defense hard. I mean, you got the best player available in Donald, maybe the best defender in the league, arguably. Khalil Mack is out there, no slouch. So something like him, he plays left outside linebacker. We could move him to left end if you do like a 4-3 scheme, if that's something you want to do. I kept the scheme on the Buffalo scheme. The defense and the offense is Tampa Bay offense.
I mean, I think we start with not just the best available player. I think on both sides of the ball, the best player in the league, right? Aaron Donald.
Let's go. I absolutely love that. You want to go Donald?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, dude. Aaron Donald, that's for sure. It seems to be a nice consensus pick. So actually a guy that was on named Mike, shout out Mike, Daddy's Home FF there on Twitter. He had a perfect season. 19-0. He won
Oh,
the Super. It was insane. He got
when was
Donald.
this? How was this? This wasn't last week. I'm not following a perfect
No,
season.
no, no. No, no,
Right,
no.
that's
You
a lot.
are
That's a lot to follow.
you are following a Super Bowl win though.
Who was that?
Sam Wagman, aka Swagman.
All right, Sam. I'm trying to match
Shout
you,
out.
bro.
Shout out to the show. Yeah, Swagman. He did. Yeah, he got a Super Bowl. It was very exciting. But it doesn't matter because here right now, round 2, after Donald. How are you?
What pick are we? What pick are we actually? I didn't even ask that.
It was first
I
round.
see.
It's a random. So it was first round pick 20, and then it's a snake.
Okay.
So it'll come back to 13. So third round pick 20.
Okay.
Let's see. BPAs. I mean, Kelsey's there. If we just want to go defense, Gilmore. Again, Gilmore is a superstar X Factor. So X Factor is kind of like they give you a little extra Madden ability when they get into the zone. They call it the zone ability, but someone that's not like just a superstar, they kind of don't get that extra. But again, this is all up to you. We got Kamara. I mean, again, you said this is.
Come on, running backs don't matter. You know we're
They
not going
don't.
running back
Hey,
anytime.
yeah,
We're not going running back for a while.
No, that's right. Especially, hey, in best ball, is that your? How do you do best ball?
I mean, it kind of depends on where I'm at in the draft. You know, whether I'm picking top 3, middle, or at the turn in round 1. So I mean, I'm not going into it like trying to draft 0 running back or like hyper fragile in general. I mean, value and just like a lot of it just depends on your first round pick, right? If I'm drafting top 3, I'm taking
running back
consensus. Yeah, I'm taking the running back. So it really just depends on that. I mean, I'm pretty nervous about. I mean, I'm always a little nervous about the running backs, but I think you know, the top 4 I would say are pretty consensus. Kamara this year, I'm nervous about just because of all the changes in the offense that I'm thinking about a wide receiver or Kelsey. But yeah, in best ball, really, a lot of it just depends on that first round. But I mean, I think at this point, real football and even more so, maybe not more so, but equally, like the dominant tight end is one of the biggest factors in football right now. I think Travis Kelce might be the most important real life football player that isn't a quarterback on the offensive side of the ball.
And speaking of Kelsey, he's right here for you. Round 2 over here. What are we doing in round 2? Are we going to go more defense based? I mean, defense wins championships. That's a good old saying we all grew up with. Here's some other guys. I could go by position too if you want, but this is just BPA.
Yeah, seeing the I was thinking offensive line here, but I'm guessing a lot of offensive line went early if Zach Martin is the best lineman available right now.
Yeah, you know, I definitely feel confident. You could always get a guy later, you know, let's kick it over like Lindsley. He's often there in like the 10th, 11th, 12th, you know. So that's guys will be there, you know, but maybe not guys that are important to help you win. You know, if you want to have fun here, let's go. We got Kelsey, Kamara. I know you brought them up, but this is your team. How are you drafting? We're just all living in it.
Let's go Kelsey and see how this thing goes out.
I mean, you talk about him. Shout out Kelsey. Okay. And to bring it back a little bit full circle here, you know, shout out to Scott Fishbowl, Lil Wayne division. You previously mentioned the Dedication 2 is your favorite, you know, mixtape / album. What is your favorite song? Like, what is your 1.01 song of Lil Wayne?
Oh, man. I mean, from Dedication 2, I think the song that kind of like kicked off I mean, obviously Dedication came out and that was good, but Dedication 2 kind of, that's when everything really started to blow up. And that beat on Cannon and that track
Cannon's my favorite.
Is like, I mean, it just goes so hard. I think that, I don't know if it's my favorite, but that's the track that stands out the most to me, just because that's not what put me on Wayne, because it was like right around the same time when the Carter dropped. I think Dedication 2 came out after the Carter. I can't remember. But that's when I just started really getting into Wayne. And that track stands out to me the most. Is like when I was like, okay, this is like
the song.
Yeah, this is it.
This is something. So just a little fun fact about Lil Wayne. He actually released his first album when he was 11. It was titled True Story. So shout out to Lil Wayne over there. Okay. Well, what did you have on like your iPod going to school or something?
Bro, I'm so old. When the Carter came out,
Walkman.
I was CD player. I was walking around saying sophomore year of of school, freshman and sophomore year at San Diego State, I was still CD player, man.
Damn, bro, that was a bad question, dude. You
Yeah, so
bro.
I was like if once your CD was in, I was walking around campus. If I wanted to switch it up, I had to put my backpack down, take my CD player out. So I was just listening to the Carter on loop, walking around San Diego State.
What? Talk about the times, dude.
I know. I mean, I remember being in math class at San Diego State and seeing a dude with the first generation iPod. He was one of the only guys at the school with an iPod.
That guy was cool.
That guy was real cool. Looking at like, what the hell's that thing? Big old brick.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Wow. That's insane. But here we are, third round. Okay. So first round, Donald. Second round, Kelsey. We're going offense, defense. Seems pretty solid there. High overalls. Overalls mean a lot in Madden. How are we going to follow this up? We still got Von Miller. Again, Von Miller could go to left ends, but we got Levante David out there. Kevin Byard if you need some secondary help. I know you mentioned offensive line. There's guys here just so you know, but I feel confident that you could always get a body later. I don't know if you go BPA, if you just want to check quarterbacks. See, we're losing a couple, but Brady and Breeze will, stick around because they're like 42, 43.
Does it show you which ones have been taken?
It does not, which is a big criticism I have of Madden. But
it looks like if they're ranking BPA quarterbacks, it looks like we missed out on a lot of those mobile guys, right?
Yep. The young guys, of course, your Herbert, your Baker, but you got Jordan Love, you got Mariota, if that's your thing. Shout out to Peter Howard. He took Fitzpatrick in like round 20 and he made it to the playoffs. So anything is possible out here.
Yeah.
But we got Julio, but you got Kelsey, again, Miller, if you want to, Rodney Hudson. Shout out the Cardinals. Shout out Kyler Murray.
What's left as far as cornerbacks?
Let's see. That's a good question. Really nothing that you would want to
corner.
A corner. Good question. Let's see. We've got Sherman. He's the X factor here. While, Denzel Ward, I love Denzel Ward, but Madden has him at a star. So if you care about the ability, Sherman's cool. But if you want to get your guy, of course. You've got Xavier Howard, A lot of people question if he was fluked of the defensive player of the year. But regardless, load the wagon. TJ Hernandez, what are we thinking?
Where do we have Xavier ranked best player overall?
He's 88, so that's just right behind Sherman. I feel confident that you could get him in the fourth round.
Yeah.
While Sherman might go now, just so you know, if you want to target another position. But, this is your draft. We're just living in it. You feel like you want some corners. You got to lock down receivers. Howard had 11 interceptions.
I feel like we missed out on all those rushing quarterbacks. Let's shore up that defense a little bit. What do we have for D end?
Good question.
With Donald in the middle.
We could move him to defensive tackle if you want.
Yeah.
What do the Bills run? It has to be a 4-3 with Milano at left out linebacker or right. I think it's a 4-3. But like something like we could move Tuitt to defensive tackle, right end, Hayward, we could move him to defensive tackle. So keep in mind, we could always put Miller at left end, Chandler Jones, if that's your cup of tea. Is Shaq Barrett here? Shaq Barrett is not here, but like Clowney could move to, left end, even though Donald's at right end. So what are we thinking?
I think I like the Von Miller pick.
Yes, I like that too, because he's an X factor as well. Dude, he's coming back from Achilles.
Is it Achilles?
It's something, right? It's something on the leg.
I thought it was knee, but it might be Achilles.
It might be a knee. It might be an Achilles. Regardless, he's coming back, and that'll be good for the Broncos. Hey, speaking of the Broncos, we got to ask: do you think they trade for Rodgers or what?
Man, I think the most likely scenario is that Rodgers plays for the Packers.
Wow, you would think he would play, you would think he would play for the Packers and not retire.
Yeah, I mean, I think I just can't imagine him just straight up retiring.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
I'm so curious to hear people.
Yeah, I think something gives, and he ends up playing.
I mean, he has this, dude. It's just a great storyline to talk about. So
I think it's the most likely scenario. I mean, obviously, I have no inside information that doesn't have, but I mean, most likely scenario that could be like 35% chance compared to.
I mean, we're all guessing.
30% chance that he
guessing
plays somewhere else, and a smaller percent chance he retires, and a smaller percent chance he just straight up sits or something like that.
Yeah, dude, he's been having a good time strumming that guitar, got married or something, right? Engaged.
Yeah.
So he's living life. But again, living life full circle, load the wagon. Here we are in the 4th round. Donald, Kelsey, Miller. Again, here's Sherman and Howard. I know you talked about him. He defied the odds. He came back. If you want Sherman, if you want Howard, if you want anybody here, shout out the Saints. Shout out to Cooter, Marshawn Lattimore. What are we thinking?
Yeah, I like to have a cornerback I could move around in Madden. I like Xavier Howard. He's my favorite cornerback in the league.
Oh, cool. So you want him?
Yeah, I want
Xavier Howard. Shout out the Dolphins, dude. They're really building. I like what Flores and the GM and all them are doing out there. So shout out to the Dolphins.
Yeah, I like the Dolphins a lot, and we're talking redraft, best ball formats, tournaments like best ball mania on Underdog. I'm stacking the Dolphins a lot.
So you could do defense and best ball and stuff?
No, I'm just saying the Dolphins in general. I like their team.
Oh, the players. Okay.
Yeah, I'm stacking their offense a lot.
I was like, how do you do that?
I like what they're doing as a whole.
That's right. And I like what you're doing here as a whole because we're getting players to address the team now. Like, look at that, dude. Donald, Miller, and Howard, you're building a defense. Insane. Do you want to continue to build the defense? McCourty is a superstar X factor, if that means anything to you. Obviously, Jesse Bates. Shout out to the Bengals, an up-and-coming free safety. He's just 1 or 2 overalls below him, but he's a star. But we also got Miles Jack. Again, fits the team need. He's a that's what that purple square means, by the way. I meant to tell you that. Purple square means team need or scheme. Sorry, not team need. Scheme.
Scheme need. So we got.
But again, we could play with the the formation form, whatever it's called, scheme. If you want a 3-4, if you want a 4-3, we could play around with it. So no biggie if that thing. And don't forget, you got that trade if you want it. Not everyone takes it. Some people do. It's no biggie. But don't forget, you also have a trade. And I think you said take it up top, BPA.
Yeah.
Let's convert Waller to receiver.
I was thinking about looking at receiver. I'm curious to see what we have left with.
Look at that. What do we have?
Quarterback and wide receiver. That's exactly what I was.
AJ Brown, DK. I feel confident. You could get a DK in the 7th round. You could get McLaurin in the 9th round. You can get Juju in the 10th. You could get Chark in the 12th. So there's always bodies. It's just get your guys, or have some fun. If you're trying to win, maybe I'll try to lead you to or from a pick. McCourty's probably BPA, but if you want a guy, get your guy. We're just having fun out here. Get back to some Lil Wayne, Scott Fishbowl. That's like next week, isn't it? The draft?
Yeah, July 5th is day 1 of the draft.
That's Tuesday. Wow.
Yeah, it's a slow draft, but I think the first day, obviously everyone's really anxious and the picks start going pretty quick, and then there's just kind of a normal curve of how fast or slow drafts go. So it's a crapshoot. It'll be interesting to see. A lot of people get frustrated when they're going slow, but people are working stuff. There's 8 hours.
Yeah, insane. Shout out Lil Wayne, best division. Everyone's cool. We got our little group chat going, so shout out to Lil Wayne. We'll be fine. All right, load the wagon.
Yeah, man, I'm tempted to keep loading up on this defense.
Yes, I like it.
I like making the strength stronger. What do we have right now? We have an end, a linebacker.
Yeah. So if you want to look over here next to our faces, I'll move the defense. So don't forget the left outside linebacker. We'll move him to left end. So you have 2 ends and a corner. Linebackers, they kind of do move quickly. You missed out on a couple big guys, Roquan, Devin White, Vander Esch will probably be gone in the next 2 rounds.
Yeah.
Miles Jack, we could move Miles Jack to middle linebacker if you want, but Demario Davis, you could get him later because he's like 32, 31. So you could find him the 10th, 11th, but we're only just pushing guys down.
Yeah. So, did I see Geno Atkins still available?
Who?
Did I see Geno Atkins still available?
Yeah, you might have seen Geno Atkins still available, and maybe he'll still be available for a couple rounds. Maybe. I would feel confident. He's a little older. He's just he's a superstar. Oh, shit. Maybe he does go. I'm unsure. If you want to get your guy, get your guy.
I like Atkins here.
We could move Hicks over to defensive tackle, Graham, but you saying you like Hicks. Geno Hicks.
I like Atkins here.
Geno Hicks. Geno Atkins. We're going Geno Atkins?
Yeah.
Dude, superstar line. Dude, Von Miller, Atkins, and Donald, what you can't double team anyone.
No, we're trying to keep these Josh Allens in check.
So are you a believer then that the second most important position in the NFL is a pass rusher?
I think at this point for sure.
Besides, quarterback has to be first. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
And then pass rusher.
Pass rusher, maybe center.
Oh, center. Really? I never heard that before.
Yeah, centers are.
You got to snap the ball accurately.
Yeah. I mean, they have the biggest
influence.
If I remember correctly, an injured center is the biggest impact on line movement in Vegas.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I mean, I guess it does make sense, but like that's something I just never really knew. Where is that? Oh, wow. That's interesting. I like that. Wow. My mind's
one of the biggest examples I think was a few years ago when Alex Mack was still at Brown and he got hurt. Their totals for the rest of the season just went down like astronomically overnight.
I mean that has to be like the focal point of the offensive line and the offense. Yeah. Wow. Cool. So, dude, you learn something every day. And not every day, only Mondays we're playing the wagon, but here we are. Okay, if you want to see your overall team drafted, I could pull that for you just so you know. Here it is. Building, dude, 85s or above. That's all we need. 30s or above. Age. Let's go. What are we thinking? You got one offensive player, Kelsey. He's the man. Well, do you want a receiver? I know you mentioned it.
Yeah, I do want a receiver. I was hoping AJ Brown was still going to be here. I'm telling you,
I swear AJ might even be there in the 7th. If not, DK would.
You think so?
Oh, I'm a betting man. I've done 300 plus of these, so I would feel even if those two are gone, McLaurin will at least be there in the 8th.
Where do you like going here if we don't go receiver?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a really good question. So, I mean, kind of based on your team needs, maybe Mosley at middle linebacker, just because the position dries up quickly. But don't forget, you do get that trade if you want it.
Yep.
Mosley, he's an 85. That means a lot. Milano, we could move to middle linebacker if that's your cup of tea. But, Mosley, maybe, not Bradbury, but it's kind of just your draft. We're out here living in it. If you want to see, if you want a wide receiver, if you want to get AJ Brown, get him. You know
what? Let's fill that middle linebacker need and hope that AJ or DK are come back around to us.
Yeah, dude, I'm confident. And
if DK wasn't there, I would say AJ. But with both of them there, I think they're kind of the same.
And then McLaurin and Jefferson are lurking there if you need them.
Yeah, but I really want AJ or DK.
Let's go. Who do you got higher ranked, quote unquote, rankings? I'm not lying to you, man. Let's go.
I believe we have AJ ranked higher. Was AJ still there on the comeback?
Yeah, look at that. He's right here. AJ's ranked higher. He's 85. Do we go with AJ here?
Oh yeah, easy.
Oh, let's go. I'm so excited. Yeah. AJ Brown and Kelsey.
So 4 for 4, we have DK 6, wide receiver 6, AJ wide receiver 8 in half PPR. That probably moved. They were probably neck and neck until the Julio trade. AJ probably just got that slight little bump down with the Julio
trade. Do you believe that though? I mean, alphas, they command targets, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, we saw Ridley put up top 5 numbers with Julio there, so I think AJ can do the same. Obviously, obviously the Falcons passed way more than Tennessee, but I mean, their offense is super efficient. I think AJ Brown, I think his range of outcomes just gets way wider with Julio there. I think he can still put up top 7 or 8 numbers.
That's right.
I think the floor just falls quite a bit.
For sure. All right. So what are we thinking here? We're 8 picks in. I feel, usually we go about 25. So that gets you like a full starting offense, defense, a couple depth. So if we want to hit a couple picks here pretty hard to get things in motion, I'm totally about it. If not, it's completely cool because we still got some team needs. What are we thinking? Just so you know, quarterbacks, dude, they're for sure still here. I won't lie to you. Running backs, we're fading that, of course, but Chris Carson's there, just so you know. Wide receiver, DK is still here. I won't lie to you. Do you want to hit any offensive line?
Calvin's still there. Yeah, I was thinking about offensive line or another wide receiver. Wide receiver's pretty deep, so I think probably offensive line here.
Yeah, for sure. I would definitely get behind. I mean, it's your draft. We got you could get him later. A guy that's going to go pretty quickly is like an Eric McCoy because, shout out to Saints, but he's young, so that makes sense. Is Chris Lindstrom? No, Lindstrom's not here. But, BPA, you could probably go wide receiver here if you want to just hit offensive line after. Excuse me.
If you think.
Oh, for sure. Or Eddie Jackson will probably go soon. You don't have any safeties. Earl Thomas may be there, 10, 11. But again, we're just pushing down positions. You're pushing down. We need the guys. So, it's in my pick, I might go Eddie Jackson, but that's me. I could still get Thomas later, but again, then you'd need to get Brady or Breeze later. You need the offensive line, so you just kind of get what you want, I guess. And what do you want? You're on the pressure.
I think we probably. I like the Eddie Jackson pick here.
Yeah, shout out the Bears.
I think we go Eddie Jackson to see what comes back with O-line.
Oh, yeah, I feel confident. Again, Lindsey's going to be there around 11, 12. Dwayne Brown, he's 35, so you could get him like 16, 17. Just because.
What round are we in right now?
You're only in round 9.
Okay.
We're living the dream. We're coasting. I know you want to build. I'm not going to lie to you. Lindsley's here. BPA is incognito here. He's here. That's an 87 overall. Overall means a lot in Madden.
Yeah. Is he the highest ranked lineman right now?
He's the highest ranked one right now. Yes.
Yeah. Let's take incognito.
I like this. Let's shore up that offensive line. Is it time to start thinking about quarterback? Again, I feel confident that you could get one. Sometimes we've seen a guy last around 16, which seems kind of insane, but you don't want to bet on those odds.
For sure.
But maybe around 12, you could feel confident. Cal Fuller's still here. Oh, geez.
See if we got Brady.
Yep. This is just BPA. Let's see. But we got Brady, Breeze, and Big Ben. Deep Brown was saying don't let him draft Tom Brady, but it's more of like, if you want to win, draft Tom Brady.
Did you say someone won the Super Bowl with Fitzpatrick or
no? So there's been about 7 Super Bowls. 6 out of the 7 victories have had Tom Brady. Ooh. Cooter is the only one that had her own lane, and she had Drew Brees.
Ooh.
But, a lot of people draft Tom Brady, and that's because the value falls. You said you wanted a value. You could have got maybe Herbert, but it's like, Brady's here. He's better overall in round 10. I think we're okay to go with some linemen here, especially if you want, Garrett Bowles, but you could get a Brown later. So someone like.
What did we see as left for center right now? We got Wyatt Teller at guard. I like that. And then what else is for center?
Lindsley. Again, you could get Lindsley round 13. So I think Teller may last. Or Brian O'Neill may last. One of these two will last. Again, it's like a get your guy situation, but we're just pushing down needs. You still need a quarterback, so it's like get the guys you need that you want to feel comfortable with.
Yeah, I don't want to take Brady because I want to do so. I don't want to. If everyone's already won the Super Bowl with Brady, I don't want to win over Brady. That's no fun.
Well, then we got Big Ben.
Yeah, he might. I don't think he's going to go the next round. Let's lock up one of those tackles.
Okay. Well, again, I feel confident. Like round 16, you could get Brown.
Yeah.
I think Teller is probably your biggest bet.
I like Teller. Let's go Teller.
And then, if you want to bounce back here with a Lindsley, that's pretty solid. Maybe Brian O'Neill's there, but there's always a guy, maybe a Morgan Moses at right tackle. Let's see. We got, DeMario Davis or Davion Clowney's available. You got one linebacker. Maybe we're kind of looking for 2, like one at least additional linebacker. You still need a strong safety as well. And then a couple cornerbacks, but we could get cornerbacks later. Don't even worry about that. Shout out to Joe Hayden. Surprised Derek didn't say anything about Joe Hayden. But, strong safety-wise, we got Poyer. Bring him back to the Bills. He's homegrown.
Ooh, yeah.
We got nothing really else going on here. If you want to just if you just want to get offensive line, Brian O'Neill came back. Shout out to O'Neill. And Lindsley is here, just so you know.
What do we have best player available overall?
BPA. That's a good question. Demario Davis, Earl Thomas. We can move Thomas to strong safety. Kyle Fuller's down here. You have one corner, which is not a big deal, just so you know. There's bodies here. Maybe Thomas, Demario Davis to get that second linebacker.
Yeah, I like the second linebacker.
Let's go, Demario Davis. Okay, now we're kind of getting into the nitty gritty. This is where like a Lindsley, a Brady are going to get going. Maybe, we'll see. Oh, dude, Kyle Fuller's still here? That's insane. Earl Thomas is here. We can move him to corner if that's your cup of tea. But just so you're aware, here's Lindsley. He's here. And then I'll kick it to quarterback. And Brady, Breeze, Big Ben are here as well.
Yeah,
Mariota.
We've been talking about that Lindsley pick for a couple rounds. Let's hit that.
Just to ensure it, you don't want to not get your guy. So you might as well get that guy. That's 3 out of 5 offensive line. Defensive line, you're 3 out of 4. In a 4-3, you need one more big body. But again, we're getting guys later. I really like that Davis pick. Are we going to go for like a strong safety? There's a Poyer. There's a Jeremy Chin. Shout out that rookie out there. Shout out to SIU. Do you just want to get, a Poyer?
I like Poyer. Poyer.
We could move Thomas to strong safety.
I like Poyer.
We like Poyer. I mean, he knows the stadium. He knows the system.
Yeah.
Jordan Poyer.
We got to have a little bit of true Bills Mafia in here.
That's shout out to Bills Mafia. Are you jumping through a table if you get a Super Bowl?
Oh, dude, I might jump through a table if I can make it to a game. Just if I just make it to a game in Buffalo at all.
Shout out Buffalo. Okay, let's see. So you have one wide receiver. We got AB. Yep. We got Robert Woods, Bobby Trees. There's people here just so you see. You need both tackles. So again, Brown is here. I'm not going to lie to you. Right tackle. We're getting a little bit to the guys. 77 Rick Wagner isn't too bad. What are we thinking? Do you just want to get a quarterback to just get a guy? Do you want another receiver?
You know what? Let's wait one. Let's wait at least one more round on quarterback, and let's get someone on the opposite of our receiver there. We got AJ already on the outside. Lockett and Woods are both guys that like to play in the slot. Another outside guy. Let's throw.
Hey, TJ, so something to keep in mind here. In a Madden depth chart, we can put a specific wide receiver at the slot depth chart, just so you're aware. So you could put AJ there if you want AB on the outside. We could put, Jarvis Landry there because that's like more of his actual role.
We're not playing Jarvis. You know what? Let's go.
Right. We don't need no Jarvis.
I mean, Woods is one of my favorite receivers in the league. Let's go Robert Woods here.
And he's a star. And hey, shout out Matt Stafford. So Woods over Cup, obviously, right?
Oh yeah.
And he gets like 20 carries a season. That's extra. That's 3 points.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shout out. Okay, but is it time? Is it time for a quarterback? Is it time? Round 15.
Man, I guess Brady's still there at 15. I didn't want to go Brady, but
you don't have to. But like,
if he's just going to be sitting there for us,
he's just sitting here.
I guess we got to do it.
Let's go.
I didn't want to go with all the other winners. Easy way out, but it's so late.
That's the show, man. Like, dude, he's there. It's not your fault he's there. You only get him for like a year. He'll retire,
And it's fun to get him back in the Patriots division, right?
Yeah, we're beating up. He loves that. That's for that revenge tour. Okay, but don't forget, you need 2 more tackles. Again, you got one trade if you want.
Yeah, we talked about Dwayne Brown a long time ago.
I told you he's there.
So that's the one I
told you.
That's very serendipitous.
I told you, man. I said round 17 is round 16. Get your guy. Let's go. Okay, so you still need a right tackle. Maybe that's something we trade for. That's up to you. So just so you're aware, you got your 2 safeties. That's great. You got at least 2 linebackers. Cool. You got your defensive line. I think you're doing pretty solid. You got 2 wide receivers. That's fine. The board's yours here. It's kind of whatever you want to do. I mean, Drew Brees is here. Let's get 2 quarterbacks. Injuries are off, but who cares?
What do we have left for cornerbacks?
That's a good question. I feel definitely way overconfident that all of these guys will be here.
Yeah, I just wanted to look at the names.
There's always a guy. They'll be here for sure. Just people that may not be here are like an AB.
Yep.
But I mean, you see how there's so much. Maybe like a Robbie Anderson goes, or like a I don't know. Edelman probably goes just because I think he might be a superstar. Yeah, he's a superstar.
You say we only have 2 linebackers right now?
You have 2 linebackers. You got middle linebacker in Mosley and right outside linebacker in Demario Davis. So, if you play a 4-3, you need definitely need an extra guy, but maybe that's a Collins in round 22, in 6 rounds or so. Or maybe you get a Hicks, we move him to left outside linebacker. Shout out the Cardinals.
Yeah, let's look at the BPA real quick.
BPA for sure. All positions. If we got an AB, shout out Le'Veon. Cooter had Le'Veon. it's kind of your board here, man. Whatever
you know what? Let's take the overall BP and pair AB with Tom Brady.
And that's a recipe for success.
Yeah.
And that's great, dude. Let's go. Antonio, AJ, who did you get?
Robert Woods.
Are you kidding me? What a trio. So now we're about the time where it's like, let's just kind of address those team needs, maybe. Like,
yep.
You don't need a running back. Those are fine. I mean, I guess you do. Oh, you do need an extra tackle. Yep, so again, Rick Wagner's here, 77. That's probably the BPA. Oh, we could put Ben Jones over there. Centers, when you move them, they'll at least stay the same overall. Yeah. So he'll at least be an 80. There's really. Yeah.
Oh, I like that. If they're going to stay the same, let's take Jones there. I like that a lot.
And the scheme fit really only matters for linebackers. Like, you can't have Khalil Mack playing a Miles Jack zone role, So offensive, like everything else, you're fine to put a center over there. Maybe you lose a couple speed if like a tackle's pulling or whatever, but like, whatever. Maybe not whatever, but maybe that's bad advice. I'm sorry as a host, but.
How's our secondary looking?
How is it looking? That's a good question. So these guys are still here. If you just want to hit home because you just have one, you got your two safeties. If you just want to go bam, bam, get bam, bam. Yo, what was that cartoon? Bam, bam. Flintstones. What was your favorite cartoon growing up?
Ooh, man. How old are you?
28.
Oh, okay. So maybe, do you remember Doug?
Dude, everyone says Doug. And
really?
I do not remember Doug. I remember Hey Arnold.
Doug. I think
I missed out on Doug, dude.
Yeah,
everyone, like not everyone, but a lot of people have said Doug. Nice. More people than not have said Doug. Like, it's not alarming, but it's enough to make me go, why did I miss out on Doug? Wow. Okay, so shout out Doug. Okay, for sure. So is it time to go Doug here on cornerbacks?
Yes, it is.
What do we think? Jimmy Smith.
Yeah.
Again, Cooter. So I brought up Joe Hayden before, right? D-Bro's out there saying don't draft Tom Brady. Tom Brady and Joe Hayden have been 6 of 6 for those Tom Brady Super Bowls. And Cooter went Breeze and Jimmy Smith.
Okay.
So shout out Cooter. But again, it's just correlation. Correlation does not equal causation, but it happened enough to be a little alarming. Just so you know, we still got corners here. What are we feeling? You still need that extra middle linebacker, other linebacker. It doesn't have to be middle. In a 4-3, you need another body, but it is what it is out here.
Who's available for linebacker?
That's a good question. So at left out, we got that Collins guy. We lost on Hicks, but Danny Trevathan, it's a locker room guy. He knows the locker room. He's a good, veteran. Thomas Davis, speaking of veterans, it's all kind of up to you here, man. We're living. Do you want a fullback? Is Juice still available? Juice. I don't know what that means in Madden, but shout out Juice, man. What are we thinking?
Let's hit that Danny Trevathan and then come back to the secondary, I think.
And then I could move him to left out for you.
Yeah, I think so.
Nice. I like that. I mean, he's a solid guy. He went to University of Kentucky. He just knows how to play football or something. All right. You said secondary. Do you want a kicker?
Nah.
We see, again, there's bodies here, man. We got bodies.
Yeah, we do have a lot left.
So what do you mean about that IPA? Like, no IPAs?
Man, they're bad.
Really? I love IPAs, man.
Do you?
I do got Bud Light, though, so.
See? I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Because here's the thing, though. Usually if I'm out and about, I usually got a whiskey with me. So I gotta set the whiskey off with something that's easy. I can't go heavy. Okay, so I got a couple questions. What is your favorite whiskey? And then what is like a good gift-giving whiskey? Is it like Woodford? Is that a good gift? Yeah, Woodford's a good gift. I mean, I like to get stuff that people don't find or aren't familiar with. So I mean, a lot of the Japanese whiskeys are really good gifts.
Interesting.
A lot of people aren't familiar with them, and they just kind of have a really unique taste, like the Habikis and the Kushus. I mean, I'm a Scotch guy, so my go-to is Lefroy. I like the peatier stuff. Like if you're just looking for bang for the buck, Sazerac Rye or Buffalo Trace for 2 bottles. I always keep it
Buffalo
home.
Trace. I've heard that.
Yeah. So those like my go-to whiskeys.
So you said the Japanese. What is a Japanese 1 or 2 that you could throw out there? Mention if you know off top.
Hibiki, Hibiki's a good one, and then Hakushu has a huge line. Some of their stuff is kind of on
So
the
that's the
peakier
brand.
side.
Okay.
Yeah, Hakushu.
Okay.
There's some really good Hakushus. Yamazaki is pretty hard to find, but that's probably what people know the best, Yamazaki. But those are usually allocated, so
So shout out.
it can be hard to find some of those.
Shout out. Okay, that's interesting for sure. Okay, but again, full circle though. The wagon. You got your two corners. Are you going to go an extra corner here just to solidify, that nickel third corner type role?
There's still quite a few left. Let's go. What are we missing on the?
You're missing a defensive lineman.
Yep,
so
that's what I was.
Tyson Alualau, we could move him to DD. He'd go up to an 83 overall, or you could just get McClendon. He's 81. Oh, I could look at right end just so you know. Houston's here.
No, we don't need Houston.
Got Alualau.
I think that's the move there.
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind changing these positions. The more work I have to do, that means the better the guest is analyzing this rules that they have under their category.
Yeah, I like that.
Shout out. All right, let's see. You do need a running back.
Yep.
So about now is the time where it gets thin. So you got kind of lucky. James Robinson made it here.
Easy
game.
Yeah,
he's for sure. You got
easy
lucky.
Game.
You got lucky. Shout out J-Rob. So I know there's a lot of chat about, Etienne and James Robinson. There's coach speak and talk about Robinson actually having a pretty role. Do you subscribe to any of this, or, being a DFS guy, that's daily. So do you just not really care too much? Because
no, I definitely care because I'm still playing a lot of best ball. My redraft leagues are pretty slim now that I'm doing so much best ball. But I mean, if in those ambiguous situations, if there's a guy that we think the workload might be close, like the Jaguars are saying now, and the price is a pretty big difference, which I think it's like a 3-round difference right now. I like getting shares of Robinson still.
Yeah, because you'd figure, the talent is there. Like, he's going to get at least, 10, 12 touches a game? Maybe some goal line work too. So, shout out to that. But you missed out on another cornerback here. Is it time to get that third corner?
I know.
What else do you need, man? You got 3 receivers.
I want another corner. I know you said everybody's going with Joe Hayden. I said I was going to break the Tom Brady cycle, and I didn't.
That's right.
So,
but you might break it because you have Brady and Smith.
Right. But I'm not going to go Brady Hayden. So let's go. Let's go Malcolm Butler here.
Okay, right on. And just so you know, a backup running back will get about 120, 130 touches. So it's always cool. Maybe you get a Peterson, but if you believe in like an Edmonds, and I heard you say Butler, you still want to go Butler.
Yeah, let's go Butler here.
Yeah, I mean, dude, Super Bowl, if it wasn't for him, shout out Butler. Okay, so let's see. You got pretty much all of your starting positions. Maybe not a backup tight end if you want to address that. A fullback doesn't really matter. Wow, Juice is still here. There's Delanie Walker, Eifert. There's just a second tight end. Do you want any extra picks? Is it time just to kind of simulate? Do you want a kicker? Do you want to address anything else here? I mean, it's your draft, man. We could draft all 53 rounds if you want.
No, let's get one more running back since we waited so long.
Yeah, I mean, did you really wait? You ended up there with Robinson, so you missed out on Edmonds, but you got Mike Davis. Shout out to Quads.
Yeah,
you got Malcolm Brown. I mean, talk about the Dolphins.
Yeah, let's give.
We got star Gallman here.
Let's give him. Who do we have up top?
Let's see. Good question. Mike Davis.
Let's give him Mike Davis.
Hey, I mean, you shout out Mike Davis. Okay, so again, you're pretty much set. Besides a backup tight end, the Madden simulation will address it. Shout out to CJ Luke. You're not late. You're right on time because you're living your life again. That's full circle with living life out here. What do you think? Do you want to get a kicker punter? Does it matter? Oh yeah. Speaking of kickers, though, there, TJ. I know you picked before me, round pick 10 in Lil Wayne division. How do you feel about
first round?
I might take Young Hui Koo.
After that workout video, I mean, he's got to be up there, right?
That's right. All right. How do you feel about kickers in the Scott Fish Bowl? If you don't want to give away, again, hey, I'm
I mean, we
right before you, bro.
I haven't been putting out. My stuff hasn't been too secret between Twitter and the content we're putting out at 4 for 4. I mean, I think a lot of people are gonna kind of ignore them in those mid to late rounds, not realizing that they can give you
10
wide receiver 4 production.
Yeah.
But the thing about Scott Fishbowl is like a lot of times you're scrambling for wide receiver 6 or 7 production because it's so deep. It's like tons of flex positions. So people are so used to being like, if I have 6 or 7 receivers, I'll be fine. But then all of a sudden you're in week 6 or 7 in Scott Fishbowl and you can't even fill out your roster. I mean, the kickers are going to be pretty consistent. So like those are players that a lot of teams are going to end up flexing pretty consistently. So I don't know how they're going to go off in drafts. I mean, probably I'm going to hopefully get like a middle of the road guy somewhere in the middle rounds.
Yeah, I mean, you can always flex the guy. And shout out to the Taco from the league. Yeah. Drafted the kicker in the first round, and he won that league. So it is definitely possible as long as you write a script. Okay, but do you want anything here? Again, you're missing a fullback, but it's like, all right, whatever. It's a fullback. A tight end too you're missing, but it's like, are you ready to simulate? Like the Madden will fill your team need.
Yeah, let's see what happens. Let's see if we win the Super Bowl.
All right. We'll just simulate the draft. But while I simulate the draft and adjust those kind of, teams and depth charts for you, I got a couple questions here. All right. Again, being the Lil Wayne, I did a little research. I got 2 questions and then a couple facts.
Ooh, okay.
All right. How old was Lil Wayne when he released?
Sorry, is this trivia time? Are we done trivia time?
Good. Okay. Because I messed up the question, so let's restart. Okay. How old was Lil Wayne when he was discovered by Birdman? Was it 11, 13, 15, or 17? Again, he released his first album at 11.
11.
His first song at 9.
So I'm trying to think. If he was, I believe his first Hot Boys track, he was 14, so it has to be 13, I think.
Wow, that is correct, TJ. That's great deductive reasoning right there. 13 years old, Birdman discovered him, and at first his mother was very skeptical of Birdman because she was aware that he spent 5 years in prison. All right, continuing the Lil Wayne trivia. This is the last question I have. What rapper name did Lil Wayne go by originally? Was it Shrimp Daddy, Baby Daddy, Pimp Daddy, or Little Daddy?
What are the choices?
Shrimp Daddy, Baby Daddy with 2 B's, Pimp Daddy, or Little Daddy?
Man. I didn't have this is just a straight up guess. Little Daddy.
It was Shrimp Daddy. From New Orleans,
I know. Yeah.
And just a little fun fact. So his first name was Shrimp Daddy. He then did go by Baby D before becoming Lil Wayne. So shout out to Baby D. I wonder what that's from. Do you know the story actually behind his Lil Wayne name? His real name, Dwayne Michael Carter Jr. Yeah. Do you know why he picked Lil Wayne?
No, why?
He just was not a fan of his dad. He dropped the D, so that's how he got Wayne. Yep.
Gotcha.
He was actually a big fan of his stepfather. His stepfather's name's Reginald, right? And he actually named his firstborn Regine because of his stepdad, Reginald. So shout out to Reginald.
Shout out, Reggie.
So let's deviate a little bit here from Lil Wayne. I actually have a couple of questions here for you.
All right.
Let's get to know you a little bit more, all right? What are your top 3 favorite smells, TJ?
Top 3 favorite smells.
That's right.
Scotch while I'm bellied up at a whiskey bar.
Wow. Okay.
The smell of a steak on a grill.
Ooh, what kind of seasoning?
Salt and pepper. That's it.
Classic. Okay.
That's all you need for a steak.
That's what I wanted to hear. Okay. Scotch at a bar, steak on the grill. What about a cast iron?
Cast iron's good.
Shout out cast iron. Okay, my bad.
Shout out cast iron.
Shout out.
Man.
Third one.
Third favorite smell. Smell brand new shoes.
Wow. Hey, oh my God. What did Sam say? Sam said the fresh smell of a new pup.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
He had 3 new dogs. So
there's a lot of different smells that those things put out.
Smell?
New car smells good.
I like grass, fresh cut grass.
Oh no, I'm traumatized by fresh cut grass. It reminds me of football practice.
Do you mind if I ask why?
I just feel like I'm gonna go run for 2 hours when I smell fresh cut grass.
All right, what position did you play?
Safety.
Safety. Shout out safety.
Yeah.
Okay, let's deviate from grass. My bad. How about gasoline? Are you a gasoline fan?
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
spot.
dude.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Let's see. Oh, this is a good one. If you could know the absolute truth to one question, what would that question be?
Is there life outside of Earth?
Boom. Let's go. That's a great one. Okay. If you could hack into anyone's computer, who would you hack into?
Man, that's a tough one. Do we go with knowledge? Do we go with access to money?
Maybe, Ernie Adams. Shout out Ernie Adams if he has a computer.
If I could.
Anyone's computer, who would you hack into? Shout out to Tunchi. Again, shout out to Tunchi. What about grass? Sorry, we covered grass. My bad, CJ Luke. But again, shout out to Tunchi. Anyone's computer that you could hack into. Elon Musk, the president.
I was gonna go Obama.
Shout out to Obama. Let's go.
I feel like I think there's a vast array of topics you're gonna learn if you hack Obama's computer.
That's right, and I'm here to learn. Okay, last question here before we kick it off to the depth, and maybe if you want the trade. Okay, if you could have witnessed one event in history, what would it be? Anything.
Man, you come with some hard hitters on this podcast.
I mean, if you want to just, again, you said you kind of just picked up the Bills because of Josh Allen. He won you some money. So you're not a fan. A lot of people have picked watch the blah, blah, blah Super Bowl win, So that doesn't apply to you, not being a really fan. Maybe it's like Daniel Negreanu,
Wait, are we talking just sports or any event?
Whatever you want, man. Do you want to witness Negreanu's legendary poker run, that's the only poker guy I knew, so I threw him out there. But whatever you want, man. If you want to witness the giraffe born at your local zoo,
man, that is tough.
You got Van Jefferson.
Any event,
anything doesn't matter. Like past, present. I guess not the future because we don't know unless you know some stuff that we don't. TJ.
Damn, that is a tough.
It's a tough question. I'll play some Jeopardy music for you or something.
Yeah.
Hey, you can think about it. I know it's a tough. I like to keep people on their toes, man. Let's see what they got. Someone said the grassy knoll. People, the Eagles.
You know what? The first thing that came to my mind was
that's what I want to hear.
Was just famous deaths, and I was like, is that too dark for this podcast?
No, dude, I got no sponsors to lose, man.
My first inclination was Lincoln assassination. And I was like, that feels really dark. That feels dark.
But it'd be so sweet to know or just be there,
Yeah.
Because stuff's going on, so you could see what happened.
That was my first thing popped in my head was Lincoln assassination.
Was that John Wilkes Booth?
It felt dark, yeah. Booth.
No, not dark at all, man. Maybe you could have stopped it.
Maybe.
But here we are. Okay, depth chart. Who do we want to be your wide receiver one? We got AB currently because he's just better overall. Do you want AJ Brown?
AJ's my wide receiver.
And then Antonio's cool there second.
Yep.
I mean, you got Van Jefferson, you got Cam Sims, and Terry Godwin. They filled the team needs.
Yep.
So tight end, shout out Bryson Hopkins. He's a guy.
Yeah, we're gonna be running a lot of 4 wide receiver with if we're playing Madden, we're gonna be running 4 wide receiver with.
We are not playing
with Kelsey out there. I'm saying
But how about Michael Star the third?
I mean, who doesn't love him?
Michael Starr. Okay, so he was a 79. My bad. He dropped 1 overall. My bad. But we got Von Miller. We got Donald. Oh, shout out to Blacklock. The rookie over there with the Texans. Atkins, Tyson Alualau, 83. I wasn't lying. Trevathan out here doing his thing. Mosley, dope. Davis. Oh, Quincy Williams. I'm a fan of Quincy. Let's see. Corners. You got Dane Jackson, who's actually on the Bills. Duke Shelley was the guy over there with the Bears. You got to trade. If you want it, it's yours, man. Whatever you want to do, we can trade. Well, we could try our best to trade. But in the meantime, who do you want at third down running back? The guy may be handling a more pass catching role.
What is their catch ranking?
For sure. So overall right here, he's a 72 third down back. Robinson's a 69. If we kick it over to catching, 70 and 67, and then short route 69, nice, and 66.
Yeah, I mean, nice.
So
yeah,
it looks like Mike Davis is probably the better, but like James Robinson's just slightly behind right there.
We went out of our way to pick Mike Davis before we simulated, so I think we got to give him some run, right?
That's right, and then power running back. So you see how it changes: Robinson 77 to 73, Davis. So that's cool. And then slot receiver. Who do you want handling the slot role? Again, so I say this, typically speaking, the odds are in the favor that the slot receiver will see the most targets. Now, this is typically, 75% of the time it'll happen. Who do you want seeing the most targets?
Yeah, I guess actually I forgot when I said that. So I think we'd probably go AJ in the slot with
Of course. It doesn't mean that like your wide receiver like 2, 1 will not still see a good amount of targets. Yeah. It's just typically it seems that the simulation gives that slot role more targets.
Oh, yeah,
or at least the guy there. Okay, so we're good, man. We're solid. Do you want to make a trade? You could fill any hole you want. Do you want a better running back? Do you want a better, tackle? You don't need it. Not everyone does it.
No,
some people do it.
I want to see how we roll with what we drafted.
That's what I like to see here, TJ. And that's just great. I mean, homegrown, you got your team. Okay. We do need to cut a guy, actually. So I'm just going to cut the lowest. It's a 53-man roster. Well, let's get Brett Wright being out of here. We don't need that. Injuries are off. We got a Tom Brady-led offense. I'm actually going to kick it to the schemes. So I want to make sure I don't miss it. You're solid on the 4-3, correct?
Yep. Yep. I believe that's what we drafted for.
That's right. So I just want to make sure. Okay. See, 4-3 scheme right there, but they do have 3-4 sets. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. And actually, it's not that. Let me make sure I get the Tampa Bay. So I keep it Tampa Bay because that's just what I do with everyone. I keep it consistent. This is actually a great question here from the chat. CJ Luke, how many Super Bowls have won without a trade? So let me see. I don't think Justin Boone traded. I don't think Swagman traded. I know Jeff traded. Maybe I'm going to confidently say that 5 out of the 7 Super Bowls did not trade. So take that for whatever it's worth here. Let's make it 6 out of 8. Do you know what kind of offense the Tampa Bay? I actually got it. Okay. So shout out to Bruce Aaron. Okay, so we're going to keep it the Chargers. That's a 4-3 scheme, a little bit of 3-4 here and there, but you're fine. Are you ready to kick it to the regular season?
Yeah, man.
Okay, we're going to kick it to the regular season here, and then there's just a Madden question here. Don't get too excited. Let's set your season goal. Win 4 games, 7, make it to the playoffs, or make the Super Bowl.
I mean, our goals go to the Super Bowl. What are we doing here?
Hey, it's just there. They Madden embedded it. All right, man, let's kick it halfway through the season, and then we're going to check out to see how your team's doing. Why does the coach look like Murr from Impractical Jokers? It does look like Murr. You a fan of that show, TJ?
No, but I know who the guys are
right?
because I do pay attention to a lot of comedy in general.
Hey, who's your favorite comedian right now?
I mean, Bill Burr's my all-time favorite.
No way. I have a coffee mug of him.
I'm going to see him at Red Rocks this year.
Oh, that's so awesome. I saw him a couple years ago, dude. It was the best, dude. He's so good.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. All right. So we're going to simulate halfway through here. Top left, you got a loss. It looks like maybe about 7-8 games. How do you think you're doing?
How do I think we're doing?
Yeah, you're doing. Yeah.
Did we have a bye yet? I'm saying through 8 games.
7 or 8.
I'm hoping we have 5 wins.
Okay, 5 wins. Are you ready? Oh, you're 4-4. That's 500.
Oh, man.
What is going on? Let's check out the stats. Patriots 6-1. Jets. I mean, what more can Tom Brady do? 3rd in the NFL in passing, 6th in touchdowns, 17 of 13. Like, what's going on? Robinson out there, he's got 6 tutties. The defense needs to step it up. Do you want to change your playbook? Kelsey, 8 touchdowns. You love to see it. Yeah, AJ Brown, 45. Dude, he's balling.
AJ balling like we expected.
Kelsey has
our defense just getting worked.
6 sacks, 5.5, 3 sacks, like 2 and 1 interceptions. I don't know. You seem to be doing fine. It's just
we just have a bad first half of this tough schedule on the front end.
It's a tough schedule. That's right. Do you want to change anything around? Do you want to sit Brady? No. Okay.
No.
Do you want to change your playbook around? Do you want to change any depth? Do you want to, it's yours out here.
I don't think so. Do you got any? Would you change anything here? Let's.
No, man, it's really just luck of the draw. Like,
yeah.
So shout out to Taylor Cornell, a good friend. Like, he also picked Brady, and Brady threw like almost 30 interceptions. I think it was 27. It was abysmal. It's just luck of the draw, and like it was unfortunate that it happens, but like I think it's just a tough first schedule, like you're saying. Are you ready to kick it to the playoffs?
Yeah, let's see what happens. Man, if we end up with the 500 season, that's rough.
It's rough, but the show is not about making it to the playoffs, man. We've had a good time. Talk a little Lil Wayne, talk a little, whatever else came up. Shout out to Doug. Again, I have no idea what Doug is, but you made it to the wild card.
Let's go.
11-5. The Patriots were 6-1, and you were 4-4.
Wow.
11-5, 11-5. You tied for the AFC East. The Jets were second at 6-2. Yeah.
Wow.
Came back strong.
Hell of a second half.
Yeah, dude, it was a bad first half. Brady, third and third yards and touchdowns. You just love to see it. It's Tom Brady, man. But here we are. Wild card game at Gillette Stadium. 11-5 Bills, 11-5 Patriots.
Tom Brady rematch game. He's got to win it, right?
Are you ready to simulate and see how you did?
Let's do it.
I'm nervous, man. I always get nervous here. Oh, no. TJ.
First round knockout. Belichick.
29-26.
Belichick.
Let's kick it off there.
Belichick wins.
But again, not everyone makes it to the playoffs. TJ, you made it to the playoffs. That's an accomplishment. 11-5. That's one of the better records. Everyone's, out there doing their thing. Not everyone makes the playoffs. So thank you. Again, it doesn't matter about the playoffs, but what matters more is Lil Wayne, the vision. Shout out to Scott Fishbowl. TJ.
Yeah, man.
The floor is yours. Let everyone know here what is good with TJ.
Yep. Man, everything that I'm doing is either on my Twitter at TJ Hernandez or at 4for4.com. We got Scott Fishbowl coming up. July 5th is the draft, so we got tons of content on that. We touched on best ball a little bit. We're like in heavy best ball mode at 4for4 right now. So we got a bunch of content out already. We're still talking about Best Ball Mania 2 on Underdog. And then it's a couple weeks before July. So in a couple weeks, or a couple days before July, in a couple weeks, we're going to be restarting up DFS MVP again. So keep an eye out for that. That's right.
Season's here, man. TJ, thank you so much for coming on. I'll probably talk to you soon. Shout out to Lil Wayne Division. Shout out to Troy. Shout out to Amr. Shout out to LQ and everyone else in it. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. When you did, have a good night, good morning, good evening, whenever you watch. And catch us next week again with another episode of Load the Wagon. Thank you, everyone. Have a good one.